in the split earth after that. Meanwhile, in mid though, you see the harass coming out here from Scandal. He's going to get picked up by Telekinesis and thrown back under the tower. However, he will walk away. There's the Thunderstorm causing a little bit of damage. But in all honesty, Rubik here is going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage while Clinks harasses him with searing arrows. That really does hurt. And it's going to come down to, well, it looks like it's going to come down to Disruptor helping him out in the mid, just causing a little bit of pressure. Now, Painted Gold with Vandalance will be farming this top lane, and Windrunner will be just farming away here. This should be a relatively easy lane for it. With Disruptor busy pulling, as long as Windrunner can sort of counter and pull this lane herself, this camp over here, that will definitely help her out quite a bit. If she can manage that, then it's not going to be too much of an issue. And you might say, well, Rasta can guard it kind of thing, but at the same time, she can attempt to pull it from a distance with power shots, so she's got some options open to her. Of course, Windrunner is one of those A-grade suicide solo heroes, very difficult to completely shut down. Rubik now has managed to eco for a bottle, finds himself a haste rune. Clinks on the other hand going for some early items. He's got what's that coming out there right now. He's gone for the early Ring of Aquila. There we go, Windrunner. This does indeed look like she's getting ready to pull this camp. And this is just going to be to try and pull the lane back towards her side and make it safer for her to farm. So she doesn't have this issue. Poor old Darkseer here. I think Darkseer may as well just abandon this lane. This is one of the upsides of picking Darkseer. If the suicide lane is indeed just pure suicide and he cannot go anywhere near it like this, he can just transition to the jungle. And you see here, he's saved up a little bit of money. I think he's just going to pick up he's just going to regenerate mana now, and then he's going to head over on to the jungle and just start farming that, because right now there's not a lot he can do. Even though he's getting a bit of gold, the issue is that he's not leveling, and he really does need his levels. He's a hero that is quite level dependent. He's got lots, like all of his spells, he wants them maxed out ASAP because they are fantastic. But I was wrong, actually. No, he teleports back out lane, decides to continue farming it. He's actually getting a little bit of experience now that Leshrac and Wisp have disappeared into the jungle to do a little bit of pulling. So it looks like Universe has decided to stick it out and says, you know what, I've got to try. And this is, I suppose, the trade-off here, why not ducking the jungle, this does keep. You see, if he leaves this lane, this leaves his tower completely open. And when you leave it open to something like Leshrac, he can tear down that tower very quickly. So if he stays here, even though he's not getting a lot of experience, a lot of money, he is at very least protecting his tower and making it hard for these heroes to get that huge early gold boost for their entire team. Meanwhile, Windrunner just busy farming away with the power shot. Still not much happening here. A bit of a nuke being thrown at there. Glimpse drawing. Windrunner back. She hits the Windrunner, but gets immediately hit by Shackle. This is going to be problematic. She's likely to die here. There's the Thunderstorm as well. Windrunner goes down for the second kill of the match. And that was great. This is the power of Disruptor. Those glimpses are absolutely fantastic. Completely shutting down heroes and catching them completely out of guard as, this stuff again. I Pudge your sister. Believe it or not, my brother actually goes by the nickname Pudge. We actually call him Pudge more often than he gets called James, because there are too many Jameses in my social circle. See Rubik here being forced to back off. This is going to be costly. Even though he hasn't been killed, he has to walk. You see here, look, Clink's now level 6 compared to Disruptor. Sorry, not Disruptor, compared to Rubik. Level 4. This is painful. The fact he's got to walk all the way back. At the very least, he has had enough money to buy himself a teleport scroll before heading back, so he can at least teleport back up. This is definitely going to put him back quite far. And now we see Scandal has hit level 6. He's starting to use Death Pact on those creeps just to accelerate his gold farm just a little bit more. Also, just come back out the lane with a lot more damage. It's going to be really tanky. Look at his damage right now, 120 plus a swing. That's like twice as much as Rubik. Rubik just cannot, and this is before even accounting for serious. Look at the damage he's causing. That's 3 hits. That's 3 hits, and Rubik is almost dead. It's utterly insane. We see Chaos Knight right now just pulling his gold. The question is, what is he going to go for first? He's just saving up. We've often seen Chaos Knights just go straight for drums after boots as well. Might see him just go for something a little bit more expensive. Of course, Armlet did recently get buffed. Now having that 1 second cooldown, so you can make some crazy big plays with the Armlet toggling it on and off for that health boost. See, Purge has been forced to use his entire bottle there just to heal up. If Clinks gets aggressive again, just starts harassing him, that's going to be extremely painful. Now, Darkseer has abandoned his lane and says, alright, screw this. He's just not getting the levels he needs. He's gone to the jungle, and he's just going to play catch-up in here now. Meanwhile, Windrunner finds himself a haste. We're going to keep that off Rubik, and this is definitely annoying for Rubik. Now he's got no regeneration to speak of. He's going to have to ferry the bottle back and forth. Clinks now looks like he's going straight for that Orchid with a pair of Sobi masks. Now, just looking at the farm at the moment, you see a Clinks. This is going to be a bit of an issue, I think. The fact that both Chaos Knight and Clinks, they are farming pretty much uninterrupted. Around about 37, 36 CS each, and then you see Phantom Lance also doing extremely well for himself, but at the same time, he's not having the same impact. He's not going to have a huge impact against those two heroes. It's going to be a really rough mid-game, I think. That said, though, Quantic do find themselves the first tower of the match, or should do in a second anyway. Windrunner having to back off here. She cannot come near those four heroes. That is going to be too painful indeed. As Darkseer actually takes that last hit on the tower, deciding not to give it to PL. Chaos Knight bought something. What is it? Is that a full... no, he's gone straight for drums. Says, you know what, I want those drums for endurance. And that gives... even though drums got a little bit of a nerf, I believe they lost their damage component. Still a really, really good item for him. Rubik now finds himself some boots. He's a little bit more mobile. Still needs his level 6 so he can at least steal some nasty spells. If he can get... actually, Split Earth is a really good spell if he can steal it, just because he doesn't share Leshrax's cast animation. So the Split Earth pops out a lot faster. As Windrunner gets way too close, gets picked... Glimpse, yes. Glimpse being used to pick her off. You see the range on Glimpse is quite frustrating. Windrunner dying, once again getting picked off. That's not too bad though, she has been doing alright in that lane. You see 21 and 4, that's not terrible at 8 minutes in for a suicide lane. Against a tri-lane specifically. Now Empire counter pushing, going to try and pick off their own tower. Nobody porting in to defend here. Windrunner going back to her top lane. And it seems both teams being relatively passive at this point in time, not really wanting to engage. The glyph being used to ward off most of the edict there. Tower is in decent shape. It looks like Rubik is going to head down here. He's just going to try and spam out the Fade Bolt, but so he's got to be careful because if he gets picked off by a stun from Chaos Knight, that's really going to set him up for a gank. And I honestly don't think there's a lot he can do. Tries to sneak in and deny, doesn't find it though. Chaos Knight going to take the last hit there.
Denied.
There we go. The Oblivion Staff has been picked up by Clinks. He's working towards his second one right now, and it looks like he's farming unopposed. He's going to have a very early Orchid, and this is going to be quite dangerous. You see this lineup right now. An Orchid against Phantom Lancer, basically, Clinks can pop out of nowhere. Phantom Lancer is very squishy. Clinks pops out of nowhere, pops the Orchid on him, and then this just lights out from there. He may not even need assistance to finish off the Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer is so reliant on his Windwalk to get away. If they get shut down by Orchid, and then the damage amp from Orchid, he is going to just melt. So I really am scared for this Quantic line, just because Phantom Lancer, I think, is very, very vulnerable. If he can get up to speed, though, if Phantom Lancer gets up to speed, I think the mass illusions are going to be very difficult for Empire to deal with here, just because they really don't have that much burst AoE to clear out the illusions. And it really will allow these guys to split, but because they'll have Darkseer to push the lane, they'll have Rasha can push the lane, and then of course you leave Phantom Lancer alone in the lane. He can be as bad as Broodmother when it comes to pushing, just creating an army of illusions just popping out of nowhere and just tearing down towers. The question is, what kind of build is he going for? I've seen the Radiance build, I've seen people going straight for Diffusal as well. I think this may be a Radiance Phantom Lance, just because it looks like he's rushing. He's got 2.5k in the bank, really looks like he's just rushing straight for that Sacred Relic. And now a smoke gank up top. Looks like they're looking for Windrunner once again. It's an interesting choice. Windrunner has already been relatively suppressed. She's not going to have that much of an impact. Whereas on the other hand, Chaos Knight and Clinks are really getting out of control. And they do need to do something about these two heroes. Windrunner, though, finds herself an invisibility rune. And this smoke gank will be completely ineffective. Unfortunately, Quantic are just wasting their time here. And they do have a Sentry Ward as well, just to help catch out Clinks if they want to. And looks like Windrunner, she's looking for a Shackle here. Can she find? She's lining up. Wisp coming in as well. The Shackle just going to slow down Perch a little bit. Gets stunned though by the Chaos Bolt. Reality Rift as well. Glimpse though, trying to drag somebody out of position. Well, there's 4 seconds done. That's a double kill for Empire. Finding the kills that they want. And it just comes down to those stuns. That actually wasn't a Chaos Bolt that stunned Rubik. It was actually the Tether. Reality Rift and Tether is a really, really disgusting combo. Reality Rift, of course, dragging them pretty much straight into the Tether and instantly stunning them is very, very frustrating. And then straight back to farming. Wisp teleportation, dragging them straight back to the bottom lane. They will continue to farm that at their leisure. I see defensive wards or aggressive wards being thrown up by Wisp, but this is mostly actually just to look for TP gank. So he's got both his avenues covered here. It will take a smoke gank to catch out Chaos Knight. Definitely some really good defense on there. As we got just a bit of nuke being thrown out there just to annoy Windrunner. This is just going to cut her health down a little bit, make her easy to pick off. She's already been picked off twice. Oh no! Disruptor gets too close and gets picked off, and again, the reality, well, she didn't even need reality with stops, just Chaos Bolt and Tether.
Dire's bottom tower.
I think Disruptor definitely messed up there. Any of these squishy heroes, they need to be so careful against Chaos Knight. They cannot come anywhere near him because it's so dangerous. That's exactly what I mean. These guys, they're getting so close, and they could, like, he could see that. Shaman could see that coming from a mile away past his tower, and he just came way too close. Shaman, though, does have boots. I better say he doesn't have boots. That might have been the issue there, as we're going to see the Force Field thrown. It doesn't happen, though. Glimpse back in, as we're going to see a pick off there. Leshrac goes down. Can we get a second kill? Wisp also getting dragged in there and taken out, as it was mass numbers being used to overcome Empire there. Meanwhile, Windrunner being left alone there, but at the same time, it's taking numbers to bring them down. And at the same time, while they're messing around with that bottom lane, Clinks, again, just farming away. Look, there's his Orchid. It's done. Now Clinks can just charge around. I'm expecting Clinks to put a lot of pressure on Phantom Lancer, just because you see Phantom Lancer, he's saving up for this relic. He's very squishy. He's very vulnerable. If Clinks starts ganking him right now, I think he's going to be very frustrated, because he's literally a hair's breadth away from getting his Orchid. It's from getting his relic, not his Orchid. His relic, and that will frustrate him to no end.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Where's Clink's gone? Okay, he's ducked in the jungle there. Still, she's waiting for his boots. He wanted his boots before he sent out the Orchid recipe. In fact, he's going to go back to base. Pick him up as well as get his mana back. See the Dire team, they do fade away into the jungle, so they're just going to do a little bit of team farming here. Just trying to maximize the use of time. They're not looking for a gank, and they don't want to sit in the lane, draining XP and gold away from one of their more important heroes. So they're going, you know what, let's get into the jungle, just leech it, gold and experience in here. They can tap more sources of income that way. Windrunner's been very static, really hasn't bothered leaving her lane at all. She's been farming away there, and it looks like, okay, it looks like they're getting ready for a gank here. They're going somewhere. It looks like they're going top. They're looking for Phantom Lancer, who immediately hits the Windwalk, but look at those mass teleports in. But there is that port in cooldown. Does not allow them to come in fast enough, although Wisp does get dragged back by a Glimpse. Look at that dragging back. Also, Chaos Knight comes in too deep, though he does manage to pick up a Rasta. They also get the Disruptor as well. Chaos Knight going balls to the wall here. He's likely to get run down, though, unless Windrunner can land a hell of a Shackle. The Shackle is up. They do lose the Chaos Knight. Shackle gets thrown, and Power Shot going to finish off poor old Darkseer, and looks like Windrunner, she's out for blood. She's going to try and take down. There's Clink's Orchid, and Rubik is no more. The tower also going to have a lot of pressure put on. Death Pack, look at Clink's health. Look at the damage he's got. He doesn't even have upgraded boots. It's just a flat Orchid causing so much damage. And that's just the power of Empire's life. That's just the messy fights that they caused. We saw the mass ports back to defense, but unfortunately, with how the ports work, they just trickled in one by one, and eventually it was just not enough to burst down Chaos Knight quickly enough. Even though they picked off the Wisp, they picked off the Wisp quickly, but in the end, Chaos Knight managed to get his revenge, and then Windrunner and Clink's charging in there as well. So a really good trade there for Empire. Quantic, unfortunately, reeling. And was that an early? I think it was a they must have thrown in a Sentry Ward or something there. They spotted him indeed.
Illusion.
Sentry Ward since being picked off by the looks of things. So Chaos Knight boots have been done for a little while now. They are looking for a gank here. Somebody spotted something. You see immediately a whole bunch of pings going out. And Clinks has found a potential target here, though it's a bit of gank in the mid. Actually, no, there's no gank in the mid, never mind. Clinks, though, manages to bring down Darkseer. I heard the tether go up. I thought they were jumping somebody. Clinks, though, jumping Darkseer. This is the power of that early Orchid. And Clinks now. That was actually a gem. I believe Chaos Knight or Wisp probably dropped a gem there. Clinks managing to recover it. And this is so painful. Basically, Phantom Lancer is extremely vulnerable. At the very least, he did manage to pick up his Sacred Relic. But Clinks is going to be all over his case. I think every time Phantom Lancer pops out in the lane, Clinks is just going to charge in there and try and kill him. Power Shot going through. Edict has been popped here. As we see Chaos Knight, he's out for Blood Reality Rift there. There's a Tether Stone as well. Throwing down the Chaos Bolt as well. Ward's being thrown down by Shaman, but they're not enough. Rubik gets picked up almost immediately. Great Shackle by Windrunner. They're looking for a second kill. Can they get an uphill miss? Maybe saving. No! Scandal is on a killing spree. The uphill miss saving him from one hit, but not two, and Scandal brings down Disruptor. And the kills are just flowing left, right, and center for Empire. The gold bounty is coming in, and they are just looking rather unstoppable at this point in time. We'll check the gold chart. It's already a 10k gold lead. This is, I should remind you, this is 16 minutes in, and Empire have managed to find themselves a 10k gold lead and a 12k plus experience lead.
Radiant's bottom tower
As now this Rax is looking to be under siege here. There's that Reality Rift. Well, Tether doesn't land though, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because Clink's, his damage is ridiculous. Actually,